Michael Dillard is an author who's with us here just now, and we're going to talk about your book, Accidental Success. And already we've managed to have a bit of success getting you onto the Zoom meeting, okay?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. So the basic idea of the book is that it reveals vision, plans, and insights to help people get to the top. So are you able to just expand on that premise for us?
Yes, thank you, Toby, for that warm introduction. The premise of the book, Accidental Success, Accidental Millionaire Retirement, is the fact that earlier in life, like a lot of people, we face difficult challenges. When I mean difficult challenges, I mean we're young, we graduate from college, or we want to go to college, something happens, things don't turn out to be what we expect.
Yeah.
At that point in time, sometimes you or others or your audience will become a little bit stressed out with life. And what I realized is that by having a vision plus taking action, you can become successful.
Yeah, definitely. And the idea of millionaire retirement, I guess that appeals to a lot of people because we spend our whole lives working and aiming to have a nice retirement, but really, a lot of the time, the pension you get is not really close to what you were actually earning in your life.
That is correct. And that's when I realized I stumbled upon having an accidental millionaire retirement, as you spoke about a pension.
Yeah.
Nowadays, companies are saving money. They're switching from having a pension where the typical employee will work for 20, 30, 40 years with one company and retire and continue to maintain their standard of living. It's not like that anymore. Employers have introduced what they call a 401k plan or another type of retirement benefit in which the employee is responsible for paying for part of that retirement. However, if you do the calculation, it's not the same. And what I realized when I was trying to figure out, can I retire early? What is early? Age 52. After 20 years of service, I did the calculation. My pension is probably going to be about $40,000. Well, how much would I have to save or have in the bank to withdraw $40,000? That total came out to be about 1.2 million. Because if you talk to a personal financial advisor, they will tell you that the average safe withdrawal rate is 4%. In order to be able to withdraw 4%, you have to have about 1.2, 1.5 million in the bank. Thus, I realized I had a equivalent of $1 million pension in addition to my 401k and my retirement accounts.
Yeah. And of course, the other issue is that the pension age for the one you get from the government is always rising. I don't know how it is in the US, but can't be too different.
Yes, it's always rising because of the cost of living allowance. That's another benefit is that with the pension, they realize that the cost of living increases because of inflation, and thus you also continue to get a yearly increase because of that. So if you start out with 40,000 and then you get a 3% increase, that's additional 1,200.
Yeah. So what would you say is the main secret to getting $1 million pension? Or do we have to read the book to find out?
You can read the book to kind of go through my journey. But one thing you have to realize is that in life, everyone's journey is going to be different. That's what I want to specify. And that's why I realized when you have a vision and you take action, the action that you take is going to be different than the action that I take. I'll give you an example. Someone wants to lose 20 pounds. They want to get in shape. Well, some people don't like to walk, while others like to run. Thus, your vision is to get in shape. What's the action that you're going to take?
Yeah.
One person says they're going to run 10K. Another person says they're just going to get on the bicycle. The journey is different for every person.
Yeah, definitely. That's an interesting concept. So how does your book help people in general then, if everybody's different? How do you manage to cover everyone?
By inspiration. In the book, when you read the book, you'll see that I was unemployed at one point in time before I found success.
Yeah.
There's others who are worse off than I was at that point in time, but there's others who had a job and still aren't successful. And what the book does is it inspires you and motivates you to take that change, to have a leap of faith, take it and enjoy life on the other side. And once again, that's why I say, have that vision. Do you want to be a famous, broadcaster, broadcasting to millions of people, you do. Okay, what action can you take? Well, you can, record your YouTube videos, your podcast videos. You can go work for a big, large corporation. You have so many things that you can do, and then success will follow if you continue to take those actions.
Yeah. And the book being called Accidental Success, does success happen a lot by accident when you're not really looking for it?
Yeah, that's the irony of it.
Yeah.
The success part comes from having the vision to want to be better. Most of the time, you'll find that people who have become successful, they had a vision, but they did not know how it was going to come about. Someone is singing on the side of the road, like Justin Timberlake. He's singing, someone discovers him. All these different people, sports figures, they're sitting there and they are practicing, and then someone discovers them. In my case, I applied for a job in which I had no idea what the benefit was going to be. I became an accidental diplomat because I had my master's degree in accounting. I was applying for overseas jobs. However, what I didn't know is that the job that I applied for was to be a foreign service officer traveling the world.
Yeah, definitely. And does success have to be things when you work hard, or could it just be happiness and not in terms of money, I guess, just doing something you love?
And that's something that I point out in the book. I point out the fact that happiness is there. The joy is in the journey in life. What makes one person happy might not make the next person happy. Thus, that's why when you go to the car lot, they have the car in red, black, blue, gray, because everyone enjoys things differently in life. And sometimes it's not financial. It's the fact of having good health.
Yeah, definitely. And on the cover here, it's got a diplomat passport there, and of course, a plane and traveling the world. So I take it those pictures are definitely inspired by your own story.
That is correct. I've traveled to Zambia, the Dominican Republic, Afghanistan, South Africa, the Democratic Republic of Congo. I've traveled to many countries throughout my lifetime, especially one time when I was in the Dominican Republic, I actually had a chance to have a meet and greet reception with, at the time, Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. Wow. And when she walked into the room and she shook my hand, I was like, wow, this is what I call accidental success. I had no idea that she was going to, come into the room and actually meet and greet and shake my hand. Yeah. I figured it's just part of the job, make sure everything is put in order for her. But for her to come and acknowledge me, that's what I say the accidental success comes from. It comes from having the vision to want to do more in life.
Definitely. And this is really a stupid question, to be honest, but what actually does a diplomat do? Because we hear it all the time. Is it an official role kind of thing? Are you representing the country?
So a great question. In this capacity, I'm in my personal capacity, writing as an author, releasing my book, Accidental Success, Accidental Millionaire Retirement.
Yeah.
A diplomat, what they're responsible for doing is they travel around the world, and what they're doing is they're representing the citizens of the country that they come from. They want to make sure that they're helping to eradicate extreme poverty out of the world. They want to make sure, such as COVID. Right now, COVID is a large pandemic that's affecting people's life.
Yeah.
Thus, in the realm of diplomacy, what countries want to do is they want to support those who cannot afford to pay for the vaccines if they choose to have them. So diplomats represent their country to make the world a better place.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you were traveling to all these different places, was there anything that inspired you?
Wow. I was inspired when I was in Afghanistan. When I traveled outside of the embassy, out and about into the population, and I saw how developed the road was and the infrastructure, I was inspired. I realized that what you see on the news is different from what's actually out there.
Yeah, that's so true. You only ever see the perhaps negative stuff. And I guess the same goes for positive places as well. On the news of a place that's popular, you would only ever see the touristy parts. When you go there, it's worse than you imagined. I guess it works both ways.
It does work both ways. As an example, when I was living in the Democratic Republic of Congo, one of the most poorest countries in the world,
Yeah.
you think to yourself, what can you do? How can you have fun? Getting back to fun, enjoying life. Well, I found joy in exercising. We hired a local Congolese boxer to come to our house and to put us in shape. He got us in shape. We did boxing, practicing. We lost like 5 pounds and got into the best shape of our lives. Thus, you can enjoy something everywhere. And something my uncle told me. My uncle told me that you can learn something from anybody, even the janitor. I mean, how many times have you gone somewhere and you're lost and you ask, oh, can you show me where X place is? And someone might say, oh, it's over there, or it's closed. If it's closed, they just saved you a 20-minute trip.
Yeah, definitely. That's so true. You should never underestimate somebody just because of their job or what they look like or anything like that.
Yeah, never. Actually, that's a true story. Another story I have for you is I was doing an internship and a friend of mine was responsible for driving the bus, picking up people from the airport because we were studying at Middle Tennessee State University. And at that point in time, they had a music fest that was taking place in Florida. His job was to drive the bus. Well, as he was driving the bus, one of the people he picked up asked him, well, what do you do? He says, oh, I'm a college student studying recording industry.
Yeah.
She says, oh, I think my son can help you out. He says, oh, for real? She says, yeah, I'll talk to him. What's your son's name? Jermaine Dupree. So now he's working for Jermaine Dupree, working at So Def Records.
Wow, that's incredible. Yeah. What actually gave you the idea to write this book in the first place?
The idea came about when I was unemployed, but I still was able to survive. And the reason why I was able to survive was because I had a vision. I put money in my 401k account. I saved money. I lived below my means. And when I was receiving that unemployment check, I said, things are going to get better. And they did. When I got my job as a foreign service officer and I came back on vacation, I went to go visit a friend. And as I was visiting a friend at his business, a lady came in who spoke Spanish. And he couldn't understand what the lady was saying. So I started interpreting for them. I was back and forth. And he looked at me afterwards and says, wow, you know how to speak Spanish? I said, yeah, because I learned it in language training because of my job. He said, man, you got to write a book. This is an inspiring story.
That's interesting, actually. So you were kind of just told you've got to write a book and you acted on it.
Yeah, I acted on it because I realized that when I walk into a meeting or I walk down the street in a restaurant, when you think of a diplomat, you think of someone who looks different sometimes. You don't really know what that image looks like. You don't see them as a regular person. In addition to that, coming from a low-income family and being able to save up money to be able to have the kids go to good schools, to be able to afford college, it shows motivation and inspiration to others to continue studying, continue to get your education, continue to have a vision for your life. And once you do that, you can become successful.
Yeah, definitely. And in all aspects of your life, do you take things very seriously? Because here, for this interview, you're dressed up all smart, and here I am in this jumper and shirt. So it's kind of clear that one of us has made more effort for this experience.
When they see how you dress, they have certain viewpoints automatically. We have certain biases within our brain is designed to start making decisions. Is this person credible or not? And et cetera. I like to dress up. I like to put on this suit and tie when occasion affords it. But tomorrow I'm going to a football game.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be in my sweats and my jersey.
Yeah, unless you happen to also be a football manager or something, because they always wear waistcoats and stuff.
Right.
So how long did this book take you to complete then?
So 9 months from when I first put the ink to the paper.
Yeah. And has the pandemic maybe helped you have a bit more time, or has your work still been the same schedule?
The pandemic did allow me to sit back and to jot down a few notes about my life. And then after it was on paper, to continue to expand because we weren't moving around as much. The pandemic had afforded me more time to write.
Yeah, definitely. In this year, a lot of people have struggled financially. So a book about how to become more more successful will appeal to a lot of people in a year when success has been lower than ever.
One thing about, financial knowledge is that the sooner you have it, the more richer you can become. And what I mean by that, a lot of people ask me, what do I invest in? And I tell them, well, invest in the S&P 500 or an index fund. Why? Take the S&P 500. That means you own 500 of the largest stocks in the United States of America. Thus, you are a business owner. If you have $100, you put it into the S&P 500, you own businesses. You're a business owner. You own Apple. You own McDonald's and Walmart. In addition to times like this, when things are tough, it shows the importance of living below your means. Don't, having a $50,000 car that you're making payments on is not going to come in handy when it's time for you to pay the mortgage or the bills. Thus, get a $20,000 car and have the extra $20,000 in your retirement account.
Yeah, definitely. And investing in these shares, is that quite easy to do, or can it be a bit risky if you don't know what the business is like and if you're going to earn anything from it?
Great question, Toby. Great question. And that's why the advice is that the S&P 500, why? Have you heard of Walmart?
Yes.
Have you heard of Amazon?
Yep.
Have you ever heard of Apple?
Yep.
Right? Those companies make up the S&P 500. So you're buying 500 of the best performing businesses.
I don't see Amazon going bust anytime soon.
No, not at all. And they're continuing to expand.
Yeah, definitely. So for the people reading this book, if they could take away one thing from it, what would that thing be?
The thing would be is fail forward. Why do I say fail forward? In order to succeed in life, you are going to face obstacles. But the difference is once you face that obstacle, you're going to learn how to overcome it. And once you overcome it, you're going to be at a higher level in your life. We start off crawling because that's all we know how to do. Then we learn how to walk, right? We don't give up and say, oh, that's it. No, we say, I want to run next after you fail at crawling.
Yeah, definitely. So when you're not writing books and traveling all over the world, what kind of stuff do you like to spend your time doing?
I enjoy exercising. I like to jump on the treadmill for about 20 minutes. Afterwards, lift weights for about 10 or 15 minutes. And then in the evenings, me and my wife, on like 5 days a week, we go for a 30-minute walk. That's another nugget that's in the book. You have to spend time with your partner. And during those 30-minute walks, you're able to plan out your life together, to be in unison.
Yeah, definitely. And I wonder, does exercise boost your success? Because I suppose it might boost your self-esteem and in turn make you more successful that way.
It depends on the person. For me, I enjoy exercising. But for other people, they might enjoy playing golf. Somebody else might enjoy doing a crossword puzzle. That's why this journey of life is going to be different for everyone. And the most important thing is that we just take time to enjoy the moment, enjoy the fresh air that we have to breathe.
Yeah, for sure. And after this book, have you got any others planned, or is that it for now?
Great question, Toby. I love it. I do. I'm working on the next book. It's called Generational Wealth for Young Couples.
That sounds exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be about a few couples who are starting off in life, and they're trying to figure out what is money, how to use money, how can they retire like their uncle who retired, at age 60 with 2 pensions, or their other cousin who owns a business and looks like they're just, having the best time of life because that person invested early and saved up early.
Yeah, definitely. Well, in the meantime, where are we able to check out this book, Accidental Success, Accidental Millionaire Retirement?
On Amazon. If you go to Amazon, it's there ready for you to purchase so that you can learn how to be successful in life.
Super. Well, thanks very much for dropping by. It's been great to have you on the show today.
My pleasure, Toby. Thank you. Wonderful interview. I enjoy watching you.